Okay guys, so I tried my hardest to make a cool, interesting intro, but I'm just not that cool of a YouTuber, you know. It has been about 2 weeks since I last uploaded, or 3 weeks, something like that. And in that time, we've had so many changes that I think we gotta make a quick little update video. And you know what? Let's just jump straight into it. With, I guess, the biggest update. As you guys might see, if you follow the channel, someone is missing from here, something, and that is our buddy Cody from TSW, Arizona. We split up. No, I'm just kidding. He got a shop in his hometown. He lived in the next town over, and through TDH, which is our landlords. Actually, if you want to be our neighbors, that shop on the other side of that door is actually available for rent right now. But anyways, he was able to get a shop through them in his town, and for the last few months, we've kind of been bursting at the seams over there on our side, and we really wanted more space to be able to bring more equipment, to be able to do more builds, and everything lined up to where I was able to take over the whole shop. And which, by the way, guys, thank you so much for all the support, everything you guys do for us, for buying our parts, for supporting us. We truly appreciate it, and we love you. Just thank you. We are super excited that we are now in this 5,000 square foot shop. That it's been my entire dream forever, you know, to be able to just have this. And we are super excited. Now, what this is going to give us the opportunity to do is essentially do more builds, and also upgrade our equipment. I'll talk more about that in a little bit. And the first build that we're gonna do is actually gonna be with my buddy Bryce, OBS Bryce. We're actually doing his truck. We're doing a build on his truck, and that thing's gonna be, it's already a freaking massive, super cool truck, and we're just gonna take it to the next level. So we're doing 05 plus axles, big suspension, cradle, 4 links, and a couple other goodies. I'm not gonna give everything up just yet, but we are super excited for that build. He's actually dropping the truck off, I believe, next week is the plan. So again, we're going to be doing that. The dually, the F450 OBS dually that we're building. The front kit, the front of it is completely done. As you guys can see, we're able to drive it out of the shop, drive it back in. And I took it on a short little drive on a dirt road that we have over here between our shops and the highway. Dude, this thing rides amazing. It was so smooth. I obviously still got to take it on an actual drive, but just that drive, it drives better than the TTB by a long shot. I'm super excited, and I can't wait to get it fully finished. I didn't take it on an actual drive because it's not aligned. We half-ass bled the brakes just enough so we can actually drive it out and not crash into the shop. But once we get this thing fully done, then we get the rear end done, I can't wait to take it on a drive. And for you guys that haven't seen this build, this is my 93 F350 that we're turning into an F450. So it's got 2020 F450 axles in the front. They are two-wheel drive. I don't know if you can see, but there's no pumpkin there. Two-wheel drive axles. It's a solid axle, but two-wheel drive. And the rear, it's getting a 2008 F450 axle as well. So this thing's gonna have F450 axles front and rear. The suspension not so much, but at least the axles are gonna be F450. And again, we use this truck to prototype what we call our two-wheel drive kit. Now what that means, that doesn't refer to the axles. I know that it's a little bit confusing because I'm using two-wheel drive axles, but it has nothing to do with the axles. As a matter of fact, on a Super Duty, the only way you can get a solid two-wheel drive axle is with an F450 plus. So F450, F550s, F600s, all of that. The front axle is a solid two-wheel drive axles. 250s and 350s are two-wheel drives. They're actually still TTB. I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but I think even till today, all the two-wheel drive Super Duties, they're TTB up front. But what our two-wheel drive kit refers to is your actual truck, your OBS. If you look under your truck, your OBS will already have coil buckets. if it's two-wheel drive. If it's 4x4, it just has a shock tower. So obviously, they have a completely different hole pattern on the frame. So what we did is we adapted our coil buckets and we moved the bolt pattern. That way, when you guys swap over your axles, before, I believe with any kit you bought, you had, on a two-wheel drive truck, you had to measure out your coil buckets, drill every single hole, and go from there. And honestly, I thought that was a stupid way of doing it. So what we did is we made a specific coil bucket radius arm bracket for the two-wheel drive trucks. On the coil buckets, you still need to drill 2 holes per bucket. On the radius arms, you have to drill 3 new holes per radius arm bracket and then enlarge 2. But it's way better than it used to be. Before you had essentially 0 holes to go off of, and now at least for the coil buckets, they're a game changer because they're 8 holes per coil bucket. So only having to drill 2 versus 8, I think it's a great improvement. Again, same for the radius arm brackets. You have to drill 3 new holes instead of having to do all 6 new holes. And again, we're super excited about this build. We are hoping to be able to finish it in the next couple of weeks. All we have to do is the rear end, and it'll be basically done. But again, with my buddy Cody moving out and all that, we kind of took a break for a few days, and then you guys are just killing it with orders. And again, for me, always my number 1 priority is to try and keep on top of orders. And we actually had built up a little bit of inventory, and again, you guys are amazing, and we're sold out again. We're about a week out on orders right now, a week and a half. And it just blows my mind. And again, we appreciate you guys so much. We can't believe it. But anyways, yeah, like I said, having all this space is just gonna give us the ability to do more builds. And essentially what we're trying to do, actually, before I get too far ahead of myself, we actually might be subletting what is essentially this whole white space in the shop, in that office, to another person that's gonna come in. And I think it's gonna bring a lot of value to the business if they do move in. I don't wanna talk about it yet because it's not set in stone. But again, it'll just be about 1,000 square feet out of the 5,000 that we have. And I think it's really gonna help with, one, bringing the cost of the rent, because it's not cheap. But again, the only reason why I think it's a good idea to bring this person on is because he's gonna add a lot of value, I think, to the brand, and it's gonna make a couple of things easier for us. Anyways, so with that being said, we've been doing axle swaps here in the shop, but we just don't advertise them because we never had the space. So this is a much better view. So to give you an idea, from the back side of this shelf all the way across to the press brake, that way is what our shop used to be. And yes, I need to get better at being organized. But even like that, we could only comfortably fit 1 truck right here while we worked on it. And if we wanted to, we could squeeze 2 trucks. But if we wanted to be really comfortable, just 1 truck there in the middle. Between that, trying to work on my trucks and trying to keep up with the business with the orders, it was really hard doing axle swaps. So again, now with the added space, even if my buddy moves in, we're gonna add essentially another bay to the shop, and then all of that space over there, which I have got a pretty cool idea of what I'm doing over there. As you can see, I already moved my shipping station to that corner. What we've been kind of trying to focus on is being able to offer you guys the full service. So if you can drop off your truck, and in a week we'll do the axle swap. We can source the axles for you. We can have them rebuilt, new seals. We can re-gear them if you want to. We can do lockers if you want to. We can source your entire suspension. So we can go from a basic swap with OEM springs to a mild build, like my truck on a 3-inch lift, 37s, all the way up to we being able to do a 12-inch lift, coilovers, all of that stuff, 4 links. That's kind of the plan. Right now, we're not quite at the 12-inch lift and 4 links, but we can do your stock build. We can do your up to a 7-inch lift with our current kit. And again, we'll handle everything. We'll get the axles, we'll get all the suspension. Again, you just drop off the truck and we'll swap it for you. And again, we're super excited again that we can actually start offering that service. So if you guys want a quote, if you guys want us to swap your truck, just email us to blowingdiesel@gmail.com, and again, we'll get something set up for you guys. We'll get you scheduled in, and man, again, like I said, I'm so excited about this move. And again, we wouldn't have been able to do any of this without you guys' support. We are so grateful for everything you do. Again, like I said, from just watching the videos to you guys that purchase the axle swap kits from us, the suspension, we're so grateful. Again, just thank you. And we're super excited for everything that's coming down the line. Again, we are gonna finish the dually and start test driving it. I gotta figure out the whole steering situation with this thing, because honestly I feel that it turns wider than it used to before. So I gotta figure out that whole pitman arm and everything, because it has like 3/4 of an inch before it hits the stop on each side. So anyways, like I said, we're trying to kind of figure out what we're gonna do with this whole space. And I'm not trying to make a lot of plans for this space, because like I said, my buddy might be subletting this little space from me. But again, like I said, we do have all of this space over here, all that in the back, and we kind of consider this little space here dead space, because it always has to be clear to load the UPS guy, to unload him, and all that stuff, pull trucks in and out. So this kind of sucks, because there's a lot of space, but it's always been more or less dead space. But one of the things that we're going to do with this part of the shop is, one, it's going to be my shipping area. So I'm not fully moved in over here. I kind of just have the essentials, but we're going to have a couple shelves over here, and this is where all of your kits are going to be packaged. Now, in this area right here, we're actually going to be getting a new plasma table, a full size, either a 4x8 or 5x10. I'm still not fully set on either one of them, but we're getting a full-size plasma table, and we're getting a really nice professional plasma table. So we started this business, and we're still running a very basic entry-level, hobby-level plasma table, which is this one that we got from Longmuir Systems, and I absolutely love this company. That's the company right there. This is their pro model, and they are a company that if they weren't around, it would have been a lot harder to start this business, because they had an entry-level table even smaller than this one that we purchased for, I don't know, I think it was under $2,000 or something like that. And again, without them being a thing, it would have been way harder to start out of my garage. And again, we absolutely love them. It's been an amazing table that has given us very minimal trouble, knock on wood. Great table. And they actually offer what they call their XR table, which is a full-size 4x8 table. And we kind of thought about going with that table, but we want to go with something a little bit more professional. So there's actually a builder in Phoenix, local to us, that has some amazing tables, and we're thinking about going with one of theirs to, again, be able to up our production and our quality, and also allow us the capability to take on bigger projects. So again, we are super excited for that as well. And we're hoping to pick up a couple other goodies from them too, to be able to make this whole process a lot faster, a lot better, a lot cleaner. And again, we're just super excited for the way that we're growing. It makes me so happy and so proud of everything that all of us have built, because again, none of this would be possible without you guys. And it's amazing. It's I don't know, we're so happy. But again, guys, along with doing those big show truck builds, big lifts, we're actually going to be also focusing on serious off-road kits, which this truck, towards the end of the year, we're going to start a super cool build on this truck. I'm not going to give up too much, but again, it's going to be what is essentially going to be our off-road focus line of products. The way that I look at it right now, these kits, what we're offering is what would be more of a basic starter kit, especially like our up to 3-inch kit that we have right now. It's if you guys want to get your, if you guys want to swap your truck, maybe lift it a little bit. We've had you guys covered with that, but what we've been missing is like the serious off-road kit. So imagine coilovers that are tuned specifically for these trucks by our buddy Cody from TSW Arizona. So again, tuned suspension, leaf springs, everything for these trucks to be able to handle anything off-road from slow to high speed, for them to drive like you're on a cloud when you're on the road, and still be able to haul, you know, something with it. Now, obviously, because the kits are going to be off-road focused, you're not going to be able to tow a house down anymore, haul a house anymore, but you're still going to be able to, you know, tow with it, especially with like an airbag kit and all that stuff that we're thinking about making for this. And again, I think that the only way that a business like this can keep thriving is if we keep doing new stuff, you know, building new parts, and kind of be able to do as much as we can, especially with these trucks. We absolutely love OBS trucks. As you can tell by my little collection that we have going on. Actually, part of making a whole bunch of new parts is where our crew cab short bed OBS is going to come into, because we actually, even though we specialize on axle swaps, on the video where I showed it to you guys, I asked the question on what way you want me to go with that truck, and the overwhelming majority said that you guys wanted to see a serious TTB kit, coilover kit for the TTB trucks, and that's what we're going to be doing with that truck. But again, for the meantime, that's just going to be, we're going to get it driving and running and driving again, and once we're done with this truck, we'll start on that other one. So again, if you want a reason to subscribe to the channel, we have so much more stuff coming down the line, and I can't think of any other word to say other than I'm so excited and thank you. But yeah, guys, that was the update for this week. Like I said, next week we're gonna jump back on this truck, finish the axle swap. Hopefully, if everything goes right, we'll get that done in the next video, and then the video following that one will be getting started with Bryce's truck and getting that set up. And again, so excited, and just thank you. And again, guys, leave a like, leave any comments that you might have. Don't forget to subscribe, because we got a lot of cool stuff coming, and we'll see you on the next